21st of March 2020. That's the day that Australia ground to a halt. On this day, Australia went into its national lockdown in response to the global COVID-19 pandemic. It was a scary time. Panic buying, stay-at-home orders, massive queues outside Centrelink. I'm sure we don't need to tell you why 2020 is a challenging year. But thankfully, the Australian and Victorian government stepped in, giving out support payments to help struggling citizens in lockdown. But there is one small group of people who were overlooked because they weren't citizens at all. They were international students. Who's there to help them? We were. Let's set the stage. At the heart of East Melbourne is one of Victoria's most populated universities.
Hi, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Matt. We're both studying here at Deakin, and we've been asked to tell you.
Deakin University is the educational institution of choice for many international students from Asia and other parts of the world. Many are attracted by Australia's great education outcomes enough to move away from home. So, how were these international students affected by the COVID-19 pandemic?
As soon as we went into lockdown and a lot of shops had to close and restaurants and cafes, many international students lost their income, lost their jobs.
International students have found themselves unable to get casual jobs which they relied upon.
These students may have been working to support their own tuition fee, their rent, they're paying their bills, buying food.
They can't access to JobKeeper or Job Seeker, so they can only live on savings. And local governments has barely any program or any support to these international students.
And so they are left to face the situation on their own.
And in fact, when it came to April, our Prime Minister effectively said to international students and visitors, it's time that you went home. Also, many of them had paid for their fees for their universities. So they were committed here.
And that means they are absolutely struggling to afford food in these very difficult times.
I heard that being so desperate, some of them are even developing mental illness like depression.
Our church, St Thomas's, is right in the heart of Burwood, where Deakin University is less than a kilometre away.
St Thomas Anglican Burwood is a mid-sized suburban church and the parent organisation of St Tom's Hope, its community service not-for-profit.
Welcome to St Thomas's this morning.
St Thomas went through its own challenges during the pandemic. The Australian and Victorian government forbade religious gatherings, so all church services went online and all face-to-face programs were cancelled.
Say hello to Lily. Hi, Janelle.
But it was in the midst of this that we thought, why don't we try our most ambitious project to date?
For a few years, we have been dropping shopping bags to our neighbourhood to invite them to put in donations of non-perishable food.
Normally what we do is have a food drive once a year. And with that food drive, we give neighbours a blue Hope bag, asking them to put food in, which is then donated to organisations.
Well, that wasn't going to work in a pandemic. So what we've done is we have invited people to safely drop off food, which is then being carefully sterilised and been put together along trestle tables.
The Hope Food Drive runs every Saturday morning at St Thomas Church to provide food and groceries for international students for free.
Instead of dropping shopping bags to our neighbourhood, we have invited our neighbours to drop their donations back to St Tom's. And so we invite these students to come back every Saturday morning to afternoon to go round the circle in the hall to collect the food or home essentials that they need.
And social distancing has been implemented through markings on the floor and careful restriction on numbers coming through.
Many people started bringing food in and we could open up the hall to international students.
And during weekdays, a group of volunteers collect non-perishable food items from donors and also to purchase food and groceries from market. As of last Saturday, October 24th, there were over 185 students come to our church to collect food and groceries.
Okay, so what is your name?
My name is Manohar. I'm from India.
Yep. And where are you studying?
I'm studying in Deakin University.
Excellent. And what are you studying there?
Masters of Information System.
How were you supporting yourself before the pandemic?
Actually, I lost my shift, many of my shifts due to this lockdown. For survival, I used to do deliveries. Only that which I can afford myself.
Yeah. And how long have you been accessing groceries from Hopefield Bags?
From last 2 months, I've been coming to groceries. It's really helpful for me. In this situation, it's very difficult to earn for myself. So this is really helpful, which reduces my cost. I'm very thankful to Thompson Church. Yeah.
It all started with one short video.
So on Saturdays, if you come up to St Thomas's Burwood between 1 and 1:30, you can receive a bag of groceries, a Hope bag.
News of free groceries and essentials at a mid-sized local church spread like wildfire across social media as international students shared it among their network. It started small, but within weeks, St Thomas Hope served close to 200 students every Saturday. But the Hope Food Drive was conceived of as a 1 or 2 week project. COVID-19 has stretched the project over months, and with it came unforeseen challenges.
Running the food drive, we also face some challenges.
Saturdays can get quite busy for us. We know that there are actually more students that are impacted than we initially expected.
Initially, it was understanding how we would adapt the model to still be of service when we knew there was such dire need at our very doorstep.
Occasionally, on some Saturdays, we will be running out of food or running low in some essentials. But thankfully, we are never short. The donations keep coming in week after week, and we are really thankful for.
And for the shortfall, we will go to supermarket to buy more food and groceries, which requires donations to support it. Second, we need more helping hands. And there are more considerations and more administrative work at finding helpers, issuing permits during the lockdown, etc. Though facing all these challenges, we keep doing the food drive to support international students.
This is Trami, who is the coordinator of all the volunteers. And what are you doing here today?
I'm just giving out lots and lots of spices and lentils and dals for our students here.
And are you a kind of expert in spices?
No.
What's really popular today with the students?
A little bit of everything, but pepper and chili are always popular.
Yeah.
And I've learned the difference between chat masala and garam masala.
What is the difference?
Oh, don't put me on the spot.
Okay. What is the difference between these two kinds of masala?
So that's a garam masala and that's a chaat masala. So that you usually use it on fruits and you will love it. And this is usually used in all the vegetables you make in whatever you cook in. That is where you use it.
So that basically goes into cooking and that you can put from
Sprinkle it up.
For months, St Thomas Hope was teetering on the edge of running out of food and at times even out of money. Volunteers and unpaid directors worked double time to organize the food drive every Saturday. But through the generosity of our friends, the donations kept coming. Friendly churches in the area joined in on the mission, generously giving time, money, and groceries to the food drive. Corporate sponsors and donors also jumped in. By Saturday, the tables would once again be loaded, the volunteers energized. When the bank account dwindled close to zero, a grant or large donation would come through. The Hope Food Drive has operated continuously for 6 months. It is still going now as of the making of this film. What drives these unpaid volunteers to make these sacrifices for half a year during one of the most challenging seasons in recent history? Let's find out.
What motivates me in terms of being part of the board and is seeing what people will prayerfully do together.
The Saturday volunteers are never the only one that have delivered such hope. It is every single person who has donated money, donated food, or even just prayed for these students that have contributed to this.
And then some of the extraordinary generosity that has been shown by people on many levels, by all of the volunteers, by the tremendous staff, and through donations from organisations, small and large.
As a migrant to this country, somehow I can feel them. I can feel those international students. I love this country and I would like to support the international students who might be going back to their countries after the study.
Also, seeing these smiley faces from the students every week is very rewarding. I guess it really motivates us to keep doing what we are doing when we know that we have a lot of support from the community, from our neighbours, and we see these happy students walking out the door.
I hope that they feel being loved and cared during this hard time, and they can witness God's love through our Hope Food Drive, through us, the followers of Jesus.
Well, the question is, what motivates you to keep doing what you're doing?
Well, it's really good fun to come up here and see people and to know that we're doing something useful for the students.
Excellent. And what are you doing today that's useful for students?
Janelle and Rhonda and I have packed 100 bags, with each one with 2 teaspoons of cumin, 2 teaspoons of coriander, and 1 teaspoon of turmeric. And then I am just about to finish doing 100 bags of rice.
Wow. The fragrance in here, the aroma is beautiful.
Yeah, it's good fun.
What do you think of when you hear the word mission? God's mission is to restore the world under His kingship as it was at the beginning. God's mission is to become the king of everything. If God is king of the world right now, what should we expect to see? Hunger? Need? Suffering? No. In God's kingdom, we see a perfect and restored world. Christians are ambassadors of that world. We represent what life looks like when God's in charge. That's why we call Jesus' message the Good News. Let's see how St. Thomas Hope contributed to God's mission.
We believe we're carrying on the ministry of Jesus Christ, who has come to bring salvation to everyone.
What always inspire me are these lines from the Bible. Whoever sows to please the Spirit, from the Spirit will reap eternal life. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all people.
Food Drive is all about delivering hope to people that are in need. In Matthew chapter 5, verses 15 to 16, it says, "Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven."
We're called to be salt and light and to offer something good to the world, to help those in need, to not ignore their plight, and to use that as an opportunity to demonstrate God's love.
We are God's people. We follow Jesus, and we do good to all those in need.
We as an individual, we face darkness as well in our lives, and at that time, we seek for help and also directions. By doing Food Drive, I think we are sharing God's love and also shedding His light to the people that are living in the dark at the time.
And in doing so, demonstrate the love of God that we have come to know through Jesus Christ. I'm always reminded about the Apostle Paul, who big on his agenda was to preach the gospel, and yet He was told by members in Jerusalem, please remember the poor as well. And he says, that's the very thing I'm eager to do.
It is such a small thing that we do to help them to get back on their feet, but it is definitely a very strong message that God is sending to them.
And I do trust, I do believe that those people also belong to the family of God. Praise be our God.
What's your name?
My name is Tracy.
And are you volunteering with us?
Yes, I am.
So you're an overseas student yourself?
I was.
You were? What do you like about volunteering to hand out food, distribute the food on Saturday mornings?
Well, it's a way to give back to the community, and I once was an overseas student as well, and I know how difficult they could be in this situation with no job, with no income at all, maybe not even supporting from their own family. And yeah, this is just a way we Christians should do, and I'm just happy that I can help a little bit.
St. Thomas Hope's mission is to see people transformed by hope, to provide help to people in serious need in the cities of Whitehorse and Monash by mobilizing the gifts of churches and people of goodwill in our community. We mentor children, offer English classes to new migrants, and operate a food drive annually. All this is only possible through the generous donations of people like yourself. If you wish to support the ministry of St. Thomas Hope, please visit stthomashope.org/donate. All donations to St. Thomas Hope is tax deductible. If you are a church or a corporation and you'd like to sponsor St. Thomas Hope, you're welcome to contact us at hope@stthomas.org. Until next time, signing off.